So my role at Flinders is I'm head of learning technologies in the primary school. I love tech. I love what technology can do. So I always say to my kids that I teach that it's not the technology, it's what we actually use it with and how we use it, what we create and the magic we can create with it. So I'm just a huge advocate for kids actually creating content, whether it be movies, new code, whatever it is. It's just a fantastic world to be part of at the moment. So I wrote a children's picture book entitled If I Were a Wizard. It's just a picture book about a young boy who dreams of becoming a wizard, which is, I guess, is a metaphor for becoming a programmer and all the wonderful solutions and things he would do as a wizard. So the story is about a young boy called Ralph, and he dreams of becoming a wizard. So while his friends are wanting to be doctors and nurses and football players, he just wants to be a wizard, which is a little bit unconventional. But and then what he basically does is he uses his imagination and thinks about all the things he would do as a wizard. So helping out Nan and Pop, and helping Mum and Dad, and helping a whole range of different family and friends. And it's just his journey through those different problems and how he would solve them as a wizard. So I love books. I love children's picture books. My fondest memories of sitting down with my girls at home and reading picture books at night. So I wanted to really tap into that. And the other thing I wanted to do is, I think, with this big push with coding in schools, is to bring about that conceptual understanding, get kids talking about the concepts behind the code, so that when they're actually learning the code and actually writing the code or dragging the code over, they've got a good understanding of why they're actually doing it. I think the physical book is still just a great way of bringing together generations. So I work in a library and I can see the power of picture books and physical books. There's been a big push to make things paperless, but I think the power of picture books, the ability to sit down and actually flick through the physical pages, is a great way of bringing together generations. So there's a lot of mums and dads and grandparents that don't really want to sit down and kind of flick through a digital version. They actually want a physical book, and I think it's a great stimulus for discussion going forward. I think you'd be surprised. I think certainly with my girls at home, if you ask them what they would prefer to actually read on, it's actually still physical books. It's actually, they just love they love being able to flick through the pages. They enjoy reading novels at night with hard covers. And I think even though there's certainly a way there for digital, I think in regard to picture books and children's picture books, I think that feeling of being able to put it away and then getting it out without having to go through and find the stories is just a great avenue. I think there was a gap. I think there's a little niche there with certainly with early childhood, getting into apps and coding apps and all these digital tools. I think having a book that's a stimulus to start things off, to get kids thinking about what is a repeat, what is a loop, and how did it apply to my life, and how can I make a connection with this kind of complex concept with my own life, is a really powerful way of doing it. I think coding's the new creation tool, basically. So when we teach kids to read and write, we don't expect them to become professional authors when they get old. So when we teach kids to code, they're not all going to be programmers, but what they will have at their disposal are some really good skills in regarding to build their own websites and actually maybe make their own software and actually understand what's behind the technology as well. It's also a fantastic way of getting kids to problem solve and actually test and prototype as well. So it's that deeper level thinking that I think coding is really, really important with.